We all love watching local sports on TV, but for the people that cover all the great games and all the great fields across Hawaii, it's more than a job. It's a lifestyle, it's what they love and live and breathe. And sports anchor Brandi Higa is all about telling the stories that are more than just sports.
My name is Brandi Higa. I'm a sports anchor for KITV. So basically when you turn on the news every night, you know that thing you have to wait 20 minutes to see, a sports segment, which I think should go a little higher than news, right? Yeah, so that's what I do. I put it together, I write all my stories, I oftentimes shoot the video, I edit the video, I produce it, I don't have a producer, but I put together the sports segment that you see each night when you watch the news. Well, when I first got into it, one of the producers says, I can tell you were an athlete. Because when you ask me questions, you want an answer right away. So like, when you're in news, you have to juggle, you have to multitask. You're doing more than one thing at a time, often. So one of the producers was like, the way that you work, I can tell it's very either militant or you're an athlete because you're really fast paced. And when I ask a question, I need an answer right away. I'm not happy with, well, you could do it this or this. I'm like, just tell me how to do it and I'll do it. And it kind of helped me learn a little quicker, I think. I like to tell people that want to get into sports that no one will really understand until you do it. When you are crash editing, a lot of times something that you write will be wrong. When you first get into this, I made so many mistakes when I first got here. And then you get out there and because you've been, crash editing, you don't even get to double check your work often. If you see something that you don't like, it pisses me off. Like I can't go to sleep at night when I make an error. And that happened it happens to this day, but it happens often. When you're in that rush, when there's pressure, you have a deadline that is not like any other deadline. It's not the newspaper where you have by the night before for them to print it and get it out. You have like sometimes minutes to get your edit out. And yeah, I make so many mistakes. Local sports is basically not what you see on ESPN. If they want national sports, they can tune to ESPN. When you tune into the news at night, we have to provide something for the audience that they can't get anywhere else. They want to see the local kids that grew up here, someone's nephew or niece or cousin or brother, sister, uncle, like they want to see the local stories because that's Hawaii. That's Hawaii sports. This is what we did on the weekends. I went to UH football games, or if I didn't go, I watched it on TV. But I was that kid at UH football games ripping my program up. I'm sorry for that. Aloha Stadium staff probably doesn't want to hear that. But I was the one ripping the program up, and you make the confetti so that when they get into the red zone, all the 5 and 6-year-old kids get ready. They're like over the edge, getting ready to like toss their confetti when UH scores a touchdown. And that it teaches you the game too. When they're in the red zone. When they're, about to score. What each situation means in football. So I was that kid. I was that 5 or 6-year-old kid. That excitement carries over obviously when you're an adult. So you want to see your team do well, and then you want to tell the stories about this team. Using my platform, I want to be able to tell the stories of this team. I want to be able to tell the stories of the people behind this program. The trainers, the coaches. Especially like I said, I grew up watching UH football. The hours that these coaches put in, it's ridiculous. Like they have to sacrifice their family. So I feel like because I have a platform, I can tell the good stories. I mean, sometimes there's bad stories too, but I can tell the good stories when they do come out. Plug in. I didn't go to school to be a sports anchor. I didn't even go to school to be a journalist or even work in news. I did professional writing, so I was writing grants and political speeches. And I thought that I was going to be, a grant writer, and I was going to help Kamehameha schools get grants for, whatever the projects they're working on. But then Robert Kikola came up to me, he's like, you played sports in college, so, you know what you're talking about, why don't you just try it? And Robert Kikola does things his way, his style. And I feed off of that. So the way that I do my sports is, it's not going to be something that you can find in a box score. You're telling someone a story. So when I come to the UH baseball games and I see these kids absolutely losing their minds because someone's throwing a t-shirt at them, I'm like, that was me. Growing up, like my brothers, I came from a baseball family. My brothers played baseball. I obviously played sports. So Saturday nights, we didn't go to Dave & Buster's. We didn't go to the movies. We went to either UH football games, UH baseball games, or either my brothers had games, I had games, or tournaments. So sports was kind of what my family did. That's how we came together as a family. So I remember, it's funny that we're here because I remember being in these stands as a kid, like a 7 or 8-year-old kid. You know, this is where I first learned how to eat like sunflower seeds. You know, you put the whole wad in your mouth until like this side of your mouth is raw, so then you switch to the other side, and this was my Friday night, and it still is my Friday night. So I want to tell the stories that you don't get in the box score. The kids enjoy themselves, the fans here, and maybe it's not sports, maybe it's not how everyone else does it, but to me that's, I don't know, I think it translates.